Did you start it before you came to Rhode Island?
Yes, the first one was created few weeks before the September 11 attacks in Texas.
2001.
Yes. But at that time, I did not know of its power. I did not know of its power until 14 years later, 2,000 miles away on a bridge in Providence. Not exactly, it's the bridge between Providence and East Providence, the Henderson Bridge.
Henderson Bridge, yeah.
Not the one, not the I-195 bridge.
Not the big one, the turnoff of it, right?
No. You know Wayland Square?
No, I should though.
Okay.
With the Starbucks though, I know.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I could always.
Yes. Yes. On that bridge, a senior student from Brown University and I walked. And during that walk, he shared with me the trouble he was having with his parents in the recent years. And I told him, here, this is what I came up with 14 years ago, 2,000 miles away. And now, why don't you take this home? Take this definition, thumbnail definition, or Thomas mantra home and use it and see if it helps. 2 months later, he wrote an email, thank you, no more problems with my parents.
It works.
And that was when I realized the power of what I created 14 years before. And so it made me want to write. 8 months later, I met my co-writer while he was a sophomore in UI. 2 years later, we published the book before he graduated from college.
That's amazing. Imagine being an undergrad with a book.
Ooh. But that book is not Thomas Lang. That book is Thomas' philosophy.
What's the difference?
In philosophy is a set of rules. So it's not much better than other philosophies. And then in the last 12 months, 24 months, I decided that rules are too restrictive because no set of rules can be accepted by every member of humanity. So what happens if I strip out all the rules? When I did that, what I saw was a nomenclature. It's a language. So the philosophy of Thomas Lang is not to be a philosophy. Instead, be a language, specifically a nomenclature.
I like that. The evolution of this. Because the only philosophy, Thomas' philosophy, is that it shouldn't be. It should be a language.
Yes.
And then we can communicate.
So I don't tell you how many relationships to have. I only tell you what it is.
What it is. And I will figure it out. I'll figure out how many relationships, which I must have a few.
I don't tell you whom to respect. I tell you what it means and how to practice it. That's what nomenclature is about. I don't tell you how to build a car. But in the car nomenclature, I tell you that you have to have a brake. I don't tell you which technology to use because I am not a philosophy in car. I am a language. I tell you to build a car, you need to have a brake, you need to have a windshield, you need to have this and that's the nomenclature of automobile. You want to become an expert in car making, you have to understand the basic nomenclature of automobile. I'm not telling you a set of rules that you have to follow. That's the difference between Thomas Lang and all other philosophies. And that's why Thomas Lang will be the most powerful of all philosophies.
You know, I kind of believe that.
I did not say that.
No?
Jason did.
Yeah?
On camera.
Wow.
No. Not Jason. Ifani.
Ifani said that.
I said it, but Ifani confirmed that. It was Ifani and Jason who made me understand which conclusion I made was good and which is bad.
Okay.
Of their reaction on camera. Their reaction on camera is what's shaping Thomas Lang, because it's not written yet. Thomas Lang book is not written yet. Because Elias was not involved.
Mm-hmm. You need Elias, because he's the one that, well, he knows, huh?
Elias involved since yesterday.
Literally a day.
Here I am on my bicycle in the city of East Providence, the day after I met Mason and Dina.
Ooh. Ooh. Big fan of that.
As I
No, it's more like a
cross the
cello,
street,
right?
So does the shadow of Skydio 1. Skydio 1 is my new buddy. Today we will tell you at once two different stories.
Thumos Skydio. Wow, that's gorgeous.
I'm crossing the Seacon River on Henderson Bridge.
Picking up every bit of depth in this picture. Yeah, the contrast is spectacular.
At the end of the bridge is the city of Providence in Rhode Island, the smallest state in America.
Right at Brown
Providence
University.
is home to Brown University. Here is a view of its campus. A student from this school and I, in 2014, took a walk across this bridge. As we talked about life, the universe, and everything, he disclosed the trouble he was having with in the relationship between him and his parents. In response, I told him the following. 14 years ago, 2,000 miles away from this bridge, I came up with a mantra for my son. It is a short sentence with only 5 words. It is one and only one lesson from me to him throughout his first grade. Why don't you take it with you this summer and discharge its power at home? Half of your relationship problems should disappear. This is later known as the first Thomas mantra. As soon as I'm off the Henderson Bridge, Skydio 1 and I are now in the city of Providence. My flying camera does not record any sound. Audio recording is done by the cell phone in my pocket. Can you hear me struggling, riding up the hill now?
Yeah, I can catch that.
2 months later, I received an email from the student. It says, "Thank you. The mantra works. I no longer have problems in the relationship with my parents."
The mantra of respect is working. I got a story for you. I should say stories.
The email stopped me in my track. I could not believe that my 5-word mantra as a single year-long lesson for my first grader would also work for a college student who is about to graduate from Brown University. Right after reading the email, I wanted to write a book about my discovery. 8 months later, a neighbor introduced me to my co-author.
That's it, just 8 months. 14 years to 8 months.
Wayland Square is coming up.
Oh,
Let me
nice.
turn left there and show you where we normally work together on the book.
Finally, because everyone talks about Wayland Square. So now I'll have a Skydio image of it.
The second house on the left is the coffee shop where we spend a lot of time writing the book.
These and Japas. Wow, the slow-mo is fantastic. How many frames per second does Skydio capture at?
24, I guess.
Good, 24.
Thumas is a big concept. Its origin can be traced back to a specific time and place. It began in Richardson, Texas, near Custer Park, a few weeks before the September 11 attacks. That was where the first 5-word mantra for Thumas was conceived by Nick Anthony Quach. Its potential for widespread effect did not dawn on him until 14 years later on a bridge 2,000 miles away, the Henderson Bridge.
Thumos. Adult love and collaboration. By Mark Canny
The biggest
and
difference
Nick Anthony
between
Quach.
Thumas' philosophy
Nice
and
cover.
almost all
It's
others
Providence. That's the stacks.
is
That
to
is
focus on foresight
beautiful.
Made in
for your
Providence.
Uh-huh.
It's not
It
made
helps
in
you
USA.
Damn,
foresee
Providence. I
Yes,
like
sir.
what you truly want to become.
That's a great jumping point. For a cover, that is very important. You're not starting from the galaxy. Starting from right here. Ooh.
Whereas Thumas is foreseeing philosophy, Skydio is foreseeing technology.
Hmm. Foreseeing technology.
Yes, sir.
As I turn right into this parking lot, Skydio 1 does the same. That is only possible because it can foresee where I'm going.
Right there. Proof.
Now watch. When I suddenly make a U-turn, Skydio keeps going, but only for a little bit, and then it realized what happened and tried to catch up with me.
But never cut you out of the frame.
With a new type of visual storytelling as provided by Skydio 1, I have a better way to tell about the first version of Dumas philosophy.
Video quality is so incorporative. Everything from how bright the sky and the clouds are, down to the sheen of the grass. Pretty. It's just so pretty.
This is the trail where we spend a lot of time talking about how to revise our book material again and again. The first version of anything is never perfect. This is true for Dumas. This is also true for Skydio.
I hear that
Skydio 1 can
50%, I think it's 49% technically, of new inventions, innovations, and ideas fail because they're pioneering and they don't know what to expect.
Right.
But later on versions, Bs, 2s, and 3s, only have a fail rate of 8%. The incredible difference, and it's definitely exemplified.
Yeah.
With your phone in your pocket, capturing all the audio. And I'm a big fan of cinematic styles, movies, music, books. And I think that comes from my own self-image. So this video is a great mix of all that. The step back and elevated view from Skydio is very appealing to me.
With Skydio, with 4-scene technology, for the first time, the individual can now tell an epic story.
Epic storytelling. Well, to be epic, you gotta be dangerous. There's gotta be a life-threatening situation. By definition.
Telling the most important story of your life on a single bicycle ride is dangerous.
Why do you put it like that, Nick? Dang. Alright, I take that back. Touché, my friend.
Thank you.
Wow. You can be my lawyer, by the way. Anytime.
not foresee far enough. Look at the tree ahead. That's why it slows down at the tree. Then catch
nice.
up with me afterward.
Pause. Unlike other drones, Skydio does not use sensors, but actually visually seeing and then compute from the visual information.
I don't know if I can understand the difference, or if I do understand the difference of sensors compared to visual.
I can explain. I can use infrared to figure out how hot you are.
Sensor.
Yes. Or I can use radar to shoot a sound, and the sound bounce back from you to calculate the distance between you and me.
Got you.
All the drones use various sensors like that.
Right, different instruments.
But Skydio doesn't use those sensors.
Just cameras.
12 cameras looking at every direction, and because each direction has 2 cameras, it can visually compute the 3D
perception.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why in the first version, at 25 miles per hour, it cannot calculate fast enough if there's a tree in front of it. That's why it has to slow down, do the computation, the complex computation, make sure that it knows what it's flying into.
Right, what it is.
Yes, before it tries to catch up with the target.
Right, and visualize it first.
Yes.
Okay then.
And that was what you saw.
Yeah. It actually takes in the information. That's incredible.
Visually.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. And that's what creates a 100% visual experience.
Yes.
100.
Yes.
Oh my God. That's more proofing in the pudding.
Yes.
Dumas' philosophy is designed to be improved over time. It has to be improved over time. That is its strength.
I don't think I've heard you say that before. Doom Sling's strength, it's its ability to evolve and grow. And
For example, leadership. Last year, it meant spread and inspiration. This year, ahead of history,
but not too far ahead.
but not too far ahead.
That's right. That is powerful. A concept that can evolve. And that's why you have to leave the aspect of it that confine it to rules. Because if you have a rule doesn't change.
Right. The language evolves.
It's a language.
Yes.
It's a language. What did you call it before Lang? It was Thumos
Thumos philosophy.
philosophy, right?
Yes.
But you broke away from that.
Yes.
Thumos nomenclature.
Hence, Thumos language.
Thumos language.
Hence, Thumos language.
It flows. It's not just in pronunciation, but in how it's grown. A very fluid idea, Nick.
Thank you.
Dumas 3 is the group that produced the first version of Dumas' philosophy. During the biggest winter storm of 2015, I met my neighbor, Mike, when he was building an igloo in our backyard. Weeks later, he
4 feet of
introduced
snow.
me to my co-author, Mark Canny. Although Mike did not write, he helped us think deeper. It was Mike who got us to think about the term Dumas and name our group Dumas 3.
My name is Mark Canny, and I am a co-author of the book Thumos.
What an incredible thing
So
to
I
say.
had 3 different audiences in my
Before
mind.
graduation.
One audience was someone or anyone who suffers from frequent relationship conflict. The second group of people are people who have been on a certain life path up until this point and feel as if they've either made the wrong decision or just feel unfulfilled, uncertain, which, having just recently graduated, university and college is supposed to solve those problems for us, but most people I know feel like they're in the second group of people. They've pursued a path up until this point and they're not certain or secure in it, but they're just in it because for survival related reasons.
I get that.
So this group of people, and the third group of people are anyone who feel like they lack a sense of personal philosophy. And after talking about these 3 different groups of people with different people, friends, mentors, colleagues, peers, whoever, it came down to one collective group of people, which is university students. So this message is for university students, that this book hopefully can help you right now and be proactive for you in the near future.
In between writing sessions, Mark and I often take a walk around the town for brainstorming purposes. The scenery along this waterfront often gives our inspiration a boost.
Nice.
During the first few days getting to know one another, I told Mark about the 5-word mantra I created for my son in first grade and how it helped a senior student at Brown University 14 years later. At the start of our project, Mark was impressed with the mantra and its origin, but he did not internalize it until 6 weeks later. On that day, we walked by this red brick building on the right. It belongs to RISD Architecture Department. As soon as we approached the next red brick building, which is for RISD Industrial Design, Mark was shocked as he fully grasped the true meaning of the 5-word mantra. He felt necessary to collapse himself and express what was going on in his mind at the time. You can see where I stand. That was where Mark collapsed. Both the Henderson Bridge email and this reaction from Mark told me how powerful the first Dumas mantra is. For me, this location is called Dumas Landing.
Way better than Columbus. There's no way I can forget that spot now. Between the two RISD
12
buildings.
months later, we found our first test subject. He was a visiting professor at Brown University. He embraced and approved Dumas philosophy almost a year before the book was published. Dumas, that means master of relationships.
What's Scadio doing?
12 months after Dumas was published, Scadio was released as a product, the first self-flying camera with 4 technology. Check this out, Scadio is backing away from the branches. Scadio, that means master of the sky.
Dio. Sí, yo sé. Dio. Scadio is even able to capture every brick in the ground. Because to have this much shadow captured while traveling 20 miles an hour, está bien increíble.
Long before this dog was born, before its owner went to school, almost 20 years ago, and almost 2,000 miles away from here, I came up with the first Thomas mantra. It is likely to be the shortest and yet arguably the most powerful mantra of all. If you knew how to discharge its power appropriately, you could wipe out half of your relationship problems in the next 20 years. It has only 5 words. The shortest and yet arguably the most powerful mantra of all. If you knew how to discharge its power appropriately, you could wipe out half of your relationship problems in the next 20 years.
Pause.
It has only.
What many viewers don't realize the meaning of that is this. Not only romantic relationships, as most people understood, but romantic relationships are only 10% of consequential relationships in your life. That statement applies to the bigger collection of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But most people miss that.
They're so focused on romance. People wake up ready to fall in love.
5 words. Respect, that means no interfering. This mantra led to our work on the Thomas philosophy. This is URI campus, where Mark Canny, my co-author, went to school while he was working on the book with me.
Man.
An hour away is Wayland Square, where we worked on the book together frequently. Thomas, that means master of relationships. Philosophy, that means accepted wisdom. Shared understanding of terms is now accepted as the wisdom of Thomas philosophy. Its creativity is powered by the precision in its nomenclature.
Alright, 4C TV.
Using too much jargon, you can articulate your deliberation in expressing your ideal self and thus make others understanding how to avoid interfering with your ideals. It is a better way to command a full respect from others.
Wow. I got shivers, man. I got shivers on my neck right now. Oh my God. For people to understand you, essentially, to show what respect for your own self is. So mentioning that romance is about 10% of what a relationship is, and say, work relationships is 10% and, families 20%. But I would think that the majority of relationships, like in that pie chart, would be about myself. because I have the biggest relationship with myself, and if I don't know myself and how to respect, no one will ever respect me.
Right.
That's incredible. I'm gonna read that one more time.
Using too much jargon, you can articulate your deliberation in expressing your ideal self and thus make others understanding how.
With too much jargon, I can articulate my deliberation in expressing my ideal self. Thus, make others understand how to avoid interfering with my ideals, also known as helping others realize how to respect me. And if we had nomenclature set, well, we wouldn't need this, would we? We wouldn't need to show people how to respect each other, you know? Or how to respect thyself.
That is the biggest misunderstanding, not of the year, not of the century, but of the millennia. This is where humanity missed big time in the last 1,000 years. Of all the technologies we invented, of all the sciences we came up with, what we fail is to understand this. If you want to love me, you have to know how to respect me, at the very least. If you want to respect me, you have to know how to avoid interfering with my life. If you want to know how to avoid interfering with my life, you have to understand where I stand, what my ideals are. Therefore, if you don't love me or don't know how to love me, it's never your fault. It's my fault, because I never told you of my ideals and where I stand. That's why you have no idea how to avoid me.
Dang. I agree. It is. It's about how we communicate.
If you are not loved, chances are that it's because of you, not because of others. Other people don't know how to love you because they don't know how to respect you. Other people don't know how to respect you because they don't know how to avoid interfering with your ideals. People don't know how to avoid interfering with your ideals because you never told them in writing. And even if you told them, you did not use a nomenclature, so it's too lengthy for people to care to read.
Too much slang.
That's why you have 70% divorce rate in Belgium.
That's high.
Half of the poor nations on earth will have the same problems in few years when they become rich and powerful, because that's the price of progress without nomenclature for social life.
People lack expression.
People try so hard
Yeah.
to reach, share understanding of terms, but they did not go beyond and reach, share interpretation of concepts. And that is what makes Tumor Slang a powerful philosophy, because it does not leave room for personal interpretation of universal concepts.
Doesn't leave room for feelings to muddle
with communication.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a tall order to fulfill. But Tumor Slang can do it. Yeah.
According to the reaction from the first several consumers of Tumor Slang.
Yeah. I am noticing how Tumor Slang is affecting me. And the first few examples that I'm noticing is when I'm just hanging out with my friends, because that's who I see most often. I live on my own. My parents and sisters live hours away, so generally speaking, I see my friends Amber and Autumn and a few others habitually. So I'm happy to call those relationships. And Amber and I were talking the other night, and she's trying, or she was telling me a story, but I want to say she was trying, because her way of communicating wasn't super straightforward. She would get distracted or run off with an idea, a tangent. And I've always been the type to provoke the next thought in a conversation. And I started noticing that that's actually kind of disrespectful, because I was interfering with her explanation or her story or her
disclosure.
Right. And I thought I was helping. I thought I was actually like being respectful by pushing along the information, but I'm slowly realizing that maybe I interrupt too much.
Because it's more fun to do so.
I do like to have fun, that's for sure. But
if you don't take actions, how can you enjoy exercising the control of your body? And if you don't control your body, how do you feel powerful?
Wow, that is something that many people, including myself, get caught up in.
I interrupt not because I disrespect you intentionally, but because I have a need to feel powerful with my body.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it sums me up. And I'm a very physical person. I mean, yes, I'm meta and think and believe and pray. But man, do I interrupt. Man, do I need to show how exertive I can be through so many forms. And that's something I will now be mindful of all the time. Of interruption. Man. Cool. Very cool.
Should we continue?
Yes. Let's see. Go back 10 seconds. Oop, I don't think that was 10 seconds. There.
Your ideal self, and thus make others understanding how to avoid interfering with your ideals. It is a better way to command a full respect from others.
You're flying.
Thomas believes that what you truly want to become is your ideal self, and everything else is secondary. Its jargon gets you there faster.
Really looked at that car.
That was the first time I used an e-scooter or any scooter of any kind.
Looks like it was kind of fun. This is true, huh? Oof. Master in the sky.
If you want to make heads turn around the town, get Skydio to fly behind you riding e-scooter.
No doubt. Now, what is that in the sky? A bird, a plane? It's Skydio.
No, it's a bird.
It's a bird.
It is a bird.
I mean, essentially, but it's a bird with 12 eyes.
No. E-scooter bird.
Oh my god! I don't know, I didn't catch that. Right over me like a bird. It is literally a bird.
Yes. You're looking at the wrong place. Down here, it's a bird.
Oh, that's, this bird's got wheels. You got me on that stuff for a hot second. What do you mean, man? Bird? I thought Skydio was like. And now they're taking birds out of Providence.
Let's come back. So, feedback of this Tumor Slang origin. The origin of Tumor Slang.
In Tumor Slang's landing. It's pretty cool to have such important factors and milestones like solidified. It's not just a passing fancy. Oh, this is where the idea came up. It's like, I appreciate the depth that you put into each moment. It shows me that you are on the course of living your best life. The quality, the video quality is just spectacular. I can see all the way down the street, all the light posts up to the sky, the shadowing on the clouds, spectacular. And the subtitles for Tumor Slang, even though they were going pretty slow across the screen, to grasp the concept, I still needed to, not to grasp the concept, to appreciate the concept. Because that's pretty easy to hear and treat others well, but to understand how to do that. He taught me how to go over the video a couple of times. Very strong ideas. To respect is a huge philosophy that is lost on many people.
Yes. It's not one of the most important concepts in humanities. It's the most.
Yeah, it should be treated as such.
Yeah.
I were to love somebody, gotta know how to respect them. And to respect them, I have to go even further than that. And I think that's where a lot of people cut it off right there.
Yes, sir.